Looking forward to it. Yeah, I am personally a fan of this map as a Protoss player myself. I do like to, especially you can definitely abuse stalking, blink stalkers. You get the vision from the observer, obviously, and part of their base, and you can kind of blink up behind them and kind of catch them off guard. We'll see if cHobo decides to do something like that, or if we see them massing out the armies and have the epic battle with all the lasers going off all over the place, the psionic storms and all the Terran stuff, and they do with their tanks and explosions. That was always fun to watch too. But we'll see how this game is played out, and we'll see if we have another cheese style strategy, as I know a lot of people like to use that term, cheese, cheese, cheese. But we're getting
Exactly.
ready, so let's do it.
That's right. We see a cHobo is spawning as the red Protoss on the top right position on this map, Metalopolis. While Fabgotho, as I would pronounce it right now, is spawning as the green Terran and the bottom, so they really cross position long distance, and this could turn out to be a long macro game. I would really love to see kind of that. With lots of nukes, lot of Colossi, a lot of War of the Worlds coming up. I really hope so. I would really appreciate it. And so let's just check it out what's gonna happen here.
I'll say this much, I'm going to give an early advantage to cHobo, who is dominating the APM advantage. That was a fun stat to look at, so obviously it's not necessarily the determinant of who's the better player, but it is always fun to look at early on, and cHobo definitely has had the quite advantage. Actually, Mr. Fabgotho is actually catching up a little bit, but yeah, so curious to see if we have any interesting early strategies as we have cHobo scouting out with this probe. He's not going to spot the first one, but he will spot it eventually, obviously being at the 12 o'clock position for, or excuse me, the 6 o'clock position for Fabgotho, and cHobo being himself at the 12 o'clock position. So putting the pylon down next to the Nexus, you now see him charging out these probes right here, and now putting up the gateway. Look at a 12 gateway right there. As far as the racks going up, it's going to be a 13 racks for Mr. Fabgotho. So very standard strategies here early on. We're not seeing any signs of cheese just yet, but here goes a scout. He's going to spot that barracks and go, oh no, he's going to be building marines soon. What should I do? So very usual, like I said. A simulator going out for the Protoss player, and expect perhaps a refinery to go up soon for Fabgotho. If not, you can definitely expect something interesting from him.
That's right, but I think TVP is most common. Try to get out this gateway really fast as you can for the cybernetics, since you want to have a stalker just in case they're gonna be Reapers. Zealots are absolutely useless against those Reapers, and in the same time you can have fun with your probe, trying to harass as many SCVs as you can, just like this probe here is doing, just attacking, making some SCVs stop mining at all. Once the shields are down, you can just go back, pull off a little bit, let the shields recharge, and go back in and go back attacking. But here's a marine out who will pull out the probe here, scare it away, and at the same time we see cybernetics core halfway done, and while in the same time cHobo is grabbing his second gas. So many people do it, and it's you probably it's a pretty standard opening, I would say, nowadays for Protoss. You don't really need a second gas if you go like in aggressive gameplay, but if you try to tech up anytime soon, you're definitely gonna need that gas.
Yeah, the second gas early on, definitely an interesting part right there. So cHobo, I guess, of course, don't expect him to... In fact, he's not even getting zealots at all. He's just going for stalkers right away. You also see him getting, of course, researching warp gates with that one gateway currently up. Expansion already going up for Fabgotho, so he is not expecting an early pressure style strategy from cHobo with the scouting that he did, most likely because he spotted the cybernetics core going up right away before a second gateway was put up. In fact, not even a second gateway yet, and now he's putting up the robotics facility, so he could very likely be going for an early, just going to be looking to tech up into Colossi very early on. Maybe good for the Immortals early on as well to get some pressure going with that. But with this early expansion going on for Fabgotho, you know, he's going to be not necessarily have the largest army himself early on, and that could buy some time for cHobo to get that eventually tech up to that Colossi early on in this game as well. But he will, you know, having an expansion for a unit like that is definitely very helpful, as obviously are quite resource heavily, both for the Colossi and needing the upgrade as well. But there's one Zealot coming out now, here another one, so and some scouting going on from cHobo with this one Stalker. But you see the bunker currently up from Fabgotho, protecting this second, or this expansion is up now for Fabgotho, and now turning it into an orbital command. So he has 3 racks up now, one of them of course with the tech lab to get those upgrades. Probably will be looking to get some stim packs, but no sign of marauders just yet. He's just looking to mass those marines. He finally got a refinery up, But yeah, right now it's just massing Marines for him. The robotics facility finished. No observer coming out just yet, though. You usually see that early on from a Protoss player right away to gain early some vision on the opposing team, obviously with really no stealth detection just yet in the game, but still not coming out. So again, I would not, he doesn't have any sign of robotics bay going up, but he does have a second gateway going up. So yeah, curious to see what cHobo eventually goes for here. Still not really many units coming out for him.
Unfortunately, I have to set you right. He has a robotics bay. It was just warping in when you stopped speaking here.
Sorry,
so we have gonna be Colossi really soon. So it looks like he's gonna go straight for Colossi, trying to break this expansion, which he did already scouted earlier on. So he's really wanna try to bust this expansion. Since if he's just waiting up or not expanding himself, we will be falling back behind in the later game. So he has to do something about it, and he's opting to attack, going for aggressive move, just getting out this thermal lance upgrade, chrono boosting it, since it's really important for those Colossi, increasing the range by 3 and getting this Colossi, and with some zealots here to back up and stalkers, he will be able to push out and do a lot of damage here to Fabgotho, who is happily expanding here, calling down some mules on his natural.
Yeah, this is unfortunate for Fabgotho. I haven't necessarily seen him do many scans. I don't know if he has actually scanned. In fact, let me try to get an idea of what he's seen. Yeah, he doesn't really know any information whatsoever when it comes to cHobo's army, and that can definitely put him at a disadvantage. Again, he has a large army of just those Marines right now. A couple of Marauders thrown in there as well. You see an SCV trying to scout it out, but a good block right there from cHobo. He actually canceled the expansion as well before he came in to not give him that idea. And now he's going to throw up that expansion already with one Colossi out, a second one coming up right now. He's just about finishing the thermal lance. So he's going to have 2 Colossi very early on in this game right now. And again, Fabgotho really doesn't have a clue. You know, maybe he could be thinking to himself, because of nothing going on just yet, that could be a possible strategy. This is going to be interesting to see how he reacts to this. cHobo sending out his Colossi. We see the army of Fabgotho coming around the left side right here. Again, a very good mixture of majority Marines, I should say. It looks like about 3 Marauders thrown into that army. Here's one Marine coming down here. He's not going to spot the Colossi, though. Again, good microing by cHobo. Or did he spot one Colossi in front? Well, I'm losing control. No, he did not, actually. So, yeah, this is going to be a base trade right here. Both teams going for the opposing team's base right now. 2 Colossi coming in for cHobo. Well, here comes the army of Fabgotho. Will cHobo react to that, or is he just going to go for the base? Or we're going to see a base trade going on. That's not going to be good news for cHobo, in my opinion, because not only is he off to a slower start right here, but he's dealing with a Terran player who could obviously lift off his base. But cHobo is going to go in. Here comes one Colossi coming in, just spamming those lasers right there. Pew, pew, pew. Trying to kill these SCVs. This big army right here of Fabgotho sending out those SCVs. Nice microing, though, from cHobo, sending the one back, but this other Colossi is going to be dropping right here, and so will the second one. cHobo's in a lot of trouble. I do not see him recovering from this, unfortunately. And went for the base trade, like I said. It really wasn't his fault. He probably should have fallen back, but yeah, that is going to be a GG, and that will do it. So cHobo falls down 1-0 to Fabgotho right here. Well played by Fabgotho.